folks. Happy Monday. I hope all the fathers, the real fathers, have a splendid father for the real fathers that's well deserved. So I hope all the real fathers have a splendid day. Because hey, for the ladies it's all year round. For the fathers it's one day. So I hope all the fathers, had a great time. The real fathers, not the fathers that come in and out children's lives and just disrupt their lives with promises and no fulfillment. So yes, I commend all of you real fathers out there. So I hope you guys had a great Father's Day weekend. Celebrate with your family. The good ones, your kids, all that good stuff. So I hope you guys had a great, splendid Father's Day. But today's Monday, a new day. Well, the week started yesterday, but a new day, new week starting, and you see what's buzzing. What's buzzing, folks? What's buzzing? What is buzzing? What is buzzing? As you can see, the title of the show, the Women Transgender Department, right now, they might want to say to themselves they're under attack, but I don't see it that way. It's just the rulings and regulations that came down from the higher ups, as far as fairness and also unfairness, So we have to be mindful in these type of situations to see what's pretty much more, mindful from what's more, tasteless. You know what I mean? So we have to be fair. But we're going to get into it, folks. Just come on into the chat room, take your time, ease on in. It's a Monday, hump day. So, get your coffee. If you don't like coffee in the midday, get you a drink, maybe a Coors Light or something, maybe a glass of wine, and let's just chill out on a Monday and talk about what's really brewing. So yes, folks, I'm talking about the transgender woman, Leah Thomas, the transgender who have freestyling 500 in the NCNA division, and she succeeded well. But now, as you see, what came down on her, as far as the ruling concerned, into the transgender department. So we're going to get into it, folks. But once you come into the chat room, please, give me a like the video, thumbs up, like the video. Also, you could share the videos and all these different streams. I appreciate you. And also, don't forget to leave your comment, because also that is very important. So stay with me, folks. We're going to get there. So yes, transgender woman Leah Thomas, I woke up today with a big surprise in a ruling that came down from the FINA. Yeah. She woke up this morning, in a rude awakening, because this young lady, whatever she is, transgender, have big plans for his or her future. I really don't know how to address certain type of people, so I'll just say isn't her, because I really don't know, and I don't want to offend no one, because each one's are entitled to their beliefs, their opinion, and their way of life. So I don't want to offend no one, so I'm being very careful with the situation, but I have to bring forth what's going on to you guys, because it's very important, and we're going to get into it in details, and so we could come to a certain type of understanding as why some people do what, because I'm still baffled. Don't get me wrong, I am still baffled with the circumstances, but you have to understand, human nature. Everybody, have different feelings, different vows, different beliefs, different aspirations, and also different way about life. So we're going to get into it today. But don't forget, when you come into the chat room, don't be afraid to give me a thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? $ Raymond Nugent. That's my Cash App. You know, this is my Cash App, folks. $ Raymond Nugent. Okay? Don't be afraid to hit me up on the Cash App. $ Raymond Nugent. I appreciate you in advance. I appreciate you in advance. So let's get back to transgender woman Leah Thomas. You know, right now she's waking up in a quagmire because of the ruling from the Fina. Okay? So the world government body, Fina, has voted in support of a new policy. Let me read it again. The Swimming World Government Body, Fina, has voted in support of a new policy. And their new policy is that will restricted most transgender athletes from competing in elite women aquatic competitions. Yes, folks. That's what they're saying. Because at first you had people out there demonstrating, marching about the ability and the capability of a man transform into a woman and try to compete as a woman in sports. Cash App, $ Raymond Nugent. Don't forget it. Thanks in advance. Appreciate you. So yes, a man transform into a woman, you know, via hormones and surgery or whatever, competing in the same competition. Do you think it's right, folks? Let me know. Comment down below if you think it's right or if you think it's wrong. Don't be afraid to comment. State your point, you know, because it's very important. And also give me a thumbs up on the video, you know, because, you know, I'm coming to you live with new trending and topic, what's going on today, Monday, the Monday after Father's Day. That's when they said no more. And I'm going to get into it, folks. I'm going to get into it. Yeah. So the government swimming world the swimming world government body, Fina, has voted support of the new policy that will restrict most transgender athletes from competing in elite ladies aquatic competition. Okay? Don't forget we have who? Leah Thomas. Okay, Leah Thomas, that, you know, freestyle that 500-yard up in Georgia, Atlanta, and she won. She's a transgender. Also, we have a lot of other transgenders who are participating in sports. And, you know, hey, to each his own. To each his own. You know, to each his own. We're not here to label no one. We're just here to enlighten people of what's going on, what's brewing in the media. We're not here to bash no one. We're just here to reason it out, talk about it, and see where we will come to some senses with it. Because I do understand people and their different beliefs and also the different way of life. I do. You know, it doesn't matter if I support you, yes or no, but I do understand, you know, your different beliefs and your different way of life. You know, I have my own beliefs, you have your own. I stay my way, you stay your way. And I think in that sense, you know, we all could live, because this is a big world. Big, huge world, you know, where we all could live and finagle and dangle without even come intertwined with certain people that, you know, you don't like or you dislike. Yeah, so it's all about using the discretion and how to maneuver around life. You know, use the, what you call it, the navigation in your head. You know, use that navigation. So, yes, folks, transgender woman, Leah Thomas, you know, she, of the University of Pennsylvania, don't forget, in the University of Pennsylvania, this year, March 17th, 2022, she won the 500 freestyle, Okay, NCCA division, March 17 in Atlanta. She won that, or she won that. This is a transformation from a man to a woman. Folks, let me know what you think about that, because I'm looking at strength. I'm looking at just the durability. I'm looking at the larger development of the body and how you could perform in the water. It gives you a upper end, in my opinion. And to compete against a woman, uh, to me that's foul, because you actually have their opinion, the higher opinion already, the higher advantage already, I should say. And now you're going to take more advantage of a woman, a real woman. You know, for whatever people are in their life, I don't judge them. I respect them, and I just go my way. But when it comes on to where others, their liking, especially women, their beliefs and everything, their aspirations, just go up into dust, because we have different type of sexuality that we have to deal with. Now we have LGBTQ, LGBTIQ, or whatever. There's so many letters in the alphabet that we are right now. It's very confusing, but also I am trying to understand it. I'm not trying to be one of those person that shy away from what's real in life and understanding life. I am not shying away from that. That's pretty much what I want to do. Understand what's going on. But in the same breath, for the LGBTQ community, when it comes down to competing with other folks in competition, come on, guys. You have to say to yourself, all right, this one I do understand is a little unfair because of my durability, my strength, and all of that. Because I remember from learning, one rib out of a man that, made a woman, stuff like that. So a man is like pretty much to me double the time stronger than a woman, and you're going to perform, in a very, dominating way, so you prove your point and win the competition. So, if because I have a daughter, and I have 2 grandkids, so I know I would be disappointed if a transgender compete in a race with my 2 grandkids, my 2 granddaughters, and they came in as the winner. I would be a little disappointed. I ain't lying to you. I'm telling you the truth. I have nothing against transgender. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But when it comes on to the sport, then we have to talk differently, because your durability, your capability is higher than the person that you're challenging. And I think that's fraud. Well, let's go against these guidelines and see what happened. So yes, so the Swimming World Government Body, FINA, has voted in the support of a new policy that will restrict most transgender athletes from competing in elite women's sport. So what they're saying is that most transgender, they won't be able to compete in elite women's sports. That's what they're saying. This institution, the Swimming World Government Body, FINA, that's what they're saying. Okay? FINA is saying the Swimming World Government Body, FINA, has voted in support of a new policy. Because you know why the new policy is coming in? Because we're seeing a fast growth of transgenders in this world. So when you see a lot of things growing and growing, you have to consider laws. You also have to put laws in place so we could work together and live together. So I hope for all these transgenders, you don't undermine the law of the land. I hope you respect it and live by it. Because, guys, for me, I live and love and could get along with anyone, respectfully. I have no quagmire, nothing against a human being and their, sexuality, what they believe in, Hey, to each his own. Yeah, to each his own. And that's what I believe in. Don't forget my Cash App, folks. $Raymond Nugent. Okay? Holla at me. Don't be afraid. So yes. So the new policy took effect today. Today, Monday. The new policy took effect today, Monday. Okay? So after today, you can't compete. I like when I put my water down and my water gets so warm, it tastes different. So after today, you can't compete because the ruling came down. The ruling came down. I am not happy about it. No, I am sad about it. But I'm sure a lot of people out there are relieved. A lot of women who have trained all their lives have high expectations of making it to the Olympics, making it to the end. Whatever Lisa Thomas won, the 500 freestyle. Women with dreams and aspirations making it to the NCCA division and also compete and win what Lisa Thomas won in March 17, 2020. So we can have people that said, okay, I transition, which I do understand, I support you, but hey, at the same time, you can't compete with a female naturally because you are more stronger as a male, even though you went in transition, but your strength plays a part, durability, all of that stuff. Because I remember they said one rib out of a man make a woman. So how dare you going to transform into a woman by taking hormones and stuff like that? Then you want to compete as a woman in your sport. That is so unfair to the ladies. That is so unfair to the ladies. That is so unfair to the kids, the college kids, the ones who want to make it to different places as far as being championships in the NCCA division, also being in the Olympics. That is not fair to them, Lisa Thomas. So that's why you see this ruling came down and it goes in effect today. Effectively today. The FINA said no more. They voted against that. Okay? So transgenders won't be able to compete in certain women elite sports. I have to say, in my opinion, I kind of support that. Because, let me tell you before I go any further. For example, a man, myself, transform into, a woman. My strength, all of that, my muscle, everything is different from a woman. Stronger, durability. Everything is out there. So how dare me competing with a woman who is so feminine, refined, There's no competition. There's none. So no matter how we minimize the situation, there is no competition for a man to compete with a woman. It doesn't matter if you change your sex. Okay? You cut off your wee-wee and put on a me-me. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You're still a man physically, Physically, you're still a man. So you're dominating, the water while the women are struggling to catch up with you. Do you think that's fair? Do you? Let me know, folks, if you think that's fair. Comment down below. Don't be afraid to comment. Comment in the chat room. Let me open up this chat. Yeah, comment in the chat room. Don't be afraid to comment and let me know. And don't be afraid to hit me with my Cash App. $Raymond Nugent, uppercase R Raymond Nugent. Don't be afraid to hit me up on my Cash App because I'm coming to you, in live and direct. So yes, folks. So the transgender woman, Leah Thomas, she's of the University of Pennsylvania. Okay, she went to the University of Pennsylvania. Good school by the way. Very good school. And she won the 500-yard freestyle in March 17, 2020, right? And that's when you see her face on television and all over the place. Don't forget though, folks, back in your mind, she's a transgender. I have no problem with the alphabet community because you guys are going further and further and further in the alphabet. And hey, I don't know why, but it is what it is, Yeah. So the policy came down because it took effect today that they will restrict transgenders, and I'm going to get to certain things. Just give me a minute, folks. I'm not going to give away all the sauce one time. They restrict transgenders from competing in all these competitions. Because all these transgenders, they started their transformation at a later age, and that's what the FINA is saying. They started their transformation in a later age. And I'm going to get down to the age that they put in, what they recommended, versus what the transgender department are saying. So please, just bear with me. We're going to get down to the bottom of it. But just don't forget my Cash App. You know what I'm saying? $ Raymond Nugent. We're going to holler at that while we're hollering at this, okay? Please, I appreciate you. Because we have to, buy stuff for the machine and keep the machine going. So that's what it goes towards. Not me personally. It goes towards my machine. Yes, it goes towards my machine, folks. So I could buy more stuff, add to the machine for you guys, so you could enjoy the content better. So the new policy that went in effect affected Leah Thomas. Because now Leah Thomas, her dreams and aspirations of going to the Olympics, they're looking very foggy, very spooky, very, very spooky, very foggy. Because with this ruling down, it kind of like kills her dream or his dream of the Olympics. I don't know what to say if it is her. I'm just going to say it is her, because I really don't know what to say. Or say he, she, he, she. Because, yeah, I'm confused. He, she's dream from the Olympics. Yeah, that sounds better. He, she's dream from the Olympics. And also, for Leah Thomas, it also restrict her from participating in other women's elite aquatic competition. So, in my opinion, outside of her school, which is in Pennsylvania, the University of Pennsylvania, where is she going to compete? Where is she going to compete? Because it seems like all these doors are closing now on this, because they do understand finally you cannot put a man in a woman's sport, not because he just have a sex change. His sex change is his preference. That's his preference. That doesn't mean you're going to lobby for him to be in a woman's sport. That doesn't mean you're going to lobby for that. Because it's unfair. Seriously, it's unfair. It is unfair. So the new policy took effect today, Monday, okay? And also, it will require transgender to complete their transformation. I am talking about the new policy that came down today. The new policy that came down today will require transgender to finish their transformation by age 12. Let me say that again. Slower. So you can understand what's going on in front of your eyes. The F INA, their presentation is the child have to be transformed by the age of 12. So what they're saying is that if you're born and you're confused with your sexuality, don't know pretty much which way to go, at age 12 you're still a child. So how are you going to be able to decide and make decisions at 12 years old? I don't know. Comment down below, folks. Let me know what you think. You know what I mean? Let me know what you think about this. Because this is very, very, very important for people to talk about in families. Because we see even in Dwayne Wade's family and Gabrielle Union and his son. And I am not okay with a lot of things that went on as far as the dating at the early age and how the family welcome all of that nonsense. I am not true to the game on that part. You know, I can't be true to that game. You started dating a young boy at a young age. I think that's confusion, but that's just my perspective on that. I am not going to go too far in Dwayne Wade's life, but things I see is just pushing too fast. And when you push too fast and you hit a roadblock, and that's when you collide. You call it a collusion, you know? Collusion. Because you know why? There's a lot of people today that are they're living an illusion. Yeah. They're living an illusion lifestyle. And it's very sad. So yes, folks, can you imagine your daughter working so hard, training, swimming, then she have to participate in her championship with a person like, you know, a man that changed their sexuality and, you know, coming in to compete with you as a woman, as a female, a feminist. Um, I support people in their organization as far as, hey, it's your thing, do what you must. But when it comes on to competing with a real woman, a real woman that God made on this earth from birth, we might have to question that. I might have to question that personally. I don't think that's fair. I really don't, because I have a daughter and I have two granddaughters. So I don't think that's fair. And I'm a very good father of my children. Okay? Very good father. Put them through college and everything. You know? Very good father. And I don't think that's fair. But folks, at the same time, don't forget my Cash App, $Raymond Nugent. You see it? $Raymond Nugent. Hit me up. Show me your appreciation. Show me how you love this channel. Show me how you love the chat. Show me how you like the way we move in this algorithm. Yeah. So for Leah Thomas, this is going to be a very long summer because she have to or she have to figure out what's next as far as her she career is concerned. Because this ruling, I tell you, this ruling is going to go as far as the Olympics. Yeah, it's going to go as far as the Olympics. Because if they ban you now from all these sports, then you know the next thing to come is the way they're going to ban you from the Olympics. I see where Leah Thomas, performed, in different competitions, succeeded, while, women that work so hard on the sideline, grieving and griping about their loss. I really think that's unfair. I really think so. Because no matter how much a man try to become a woman, you will never full-fledged be a real woman. Never. Because let me tell you something, folks. and I'm not going to get too perverted or raw. I'm just going to let you know. Any day, a surgeon or whoever they want prove to me that a man seeing his period, his monthly cycle. If you make that man do certain things like that, then I'm like, holy shit. Because, folks, let me tell you something. The most dangerous thing on this earth is a woman. No pun intended. And I'm being very serious. And I'm going to explain to you. The most dangerous thing on this earth is a woman. And also the most lovable thing on this earth is a woman. Let me explain. Out in the jungle, you have lions, tigers, bears, buffaloes, albinos, coyotes, all these things. If they snakes, if they have a laceration, a serious cut, and it's bleeding, let's say for 3 days, let's say 2 days, they're going to die. They are going to die. But when you have a woman that could bleed for 1 week and stay strong and also stay on your nerves, listen, that's the most dangerous species in front of you. A woman bleed a week and don't die, the most dangerous species. Okay? Any other species out there cut their limbs or whatever and they bleed for at least 3 or 4 days, they're going to die. But for a woman, it ain't happening. So watch your challenges, folks. Watch your challenges. Women are very strong. Some men just come around and try to dominate. But listen, give props to the strong females out there. Give props to the strong females out there. A man have to be strong as well, stronger than the woman. But it's all because of linguistics, how you speak to her, how you respect her. That's what you're going to get back from her. The same type of linguistics that you're putting out. The same type of energy you're putting out. The same type of atmosphere you're putting out. You're going to get it back. Because some women don't really care. 2 hoots. They'll let you know, I don't care. And they're going to let you have it. And then what you're going to do as a man, you're going to get in your car, take a ride, maybe call your homeboy, tell him what you went through, shit like that. And what do you call that? A bitch move. That's a bitch move. Yeah, a bitch move. So let's get back to Leah Thomas. And while we're on the subject of Leah Thomas, don't forget we have a WNBA player in Russia incarcerated for stupidness. So let's advocate to free that WNBA player in Russia for CBD oil that she rubs on her body to keep her aches down so she could perform and work a legal job in the WNBA industry. Now she's in Russia, months and months, sitting in jail for God knows what. So these are the nonsense that we look at where people just provoke this world and this earth. And it scorches us. It does. Because some of these things, they stay in the back of the brain. They do. Stay in the back of the brain. So yes, folks, I'm going to get into the other part of this segment. So what the FINA is saying is that kids that are transforming into transgender should start at the 12 12 years of age. But we have the World Professional Association for Transgenders Health. I tell you I was going to get to it. That's just a teaser. So yes, folks, effective policy took place today, Monday. All right? Require all transgender and that competes in competition in these institutions, they have to start their transition at age 12. So for Leah Thomas, I think she's going to be declined for a lot of these swimming moves and also swimming competitions because she didn't start her hormones or anything at age 12. This came late in he or she life, just like Bruce Jenner. Yes, just like Bruce Jenner. Came late in the life. And we have to accept. Yes, folks. So what do you think about the career of Leah Thomas? Do you think it's going to sustain? Do you think it's going to continue with all these new laws? All these new policies? What's going to happen to the transgender career in sports? At the elite level, what's going to happen to your career? Because sometimes it doesn't come in question in college or high school. But when you get to the elite level, that's when it comes into question. When you're dealing with other countries that don't uphold your rhetoric or your beliefs, that's when it comes into question. Because I saw a man today on ABC was talking about the case, and he said, men, they develop bigger, their arms, their feet, so when they're flapping, and moving, they can move faster than a woman. And that's facts. That is facts. So out there, we're going to have a man competing in a woman's sport because they have a sex change. How fair would you say that be if that man wins that race and become a dominant source in that competition? How fair would it be settled on your mind as a person? Knowing the transformation, the hurdles, the rebuttals that this person went through, and still yet came out glorifying with the championship. Would that set straightforward to you in your heart? In your heart? Would you be at peace with yourself? Because you have to understand, folks, if you have a daughter, for example, she's in cheerleading, cheering on the football squad, master her cheerleading, then she get into tennis, lawn tennis, mastering her lawn tennis, just like Venus and Serena doing their thing as ladies. Then here comes this man. Let's say this man is Michael Chang. Michael Chang was a great tennis player. I'm just using Michael Chang as an excuse. And I could also use Andre Agassi as well, or Arthur Ashe, either one. Said they want to have a sex change, right? Let's say Arthur Ashe wanted to have a sex change, right? And compete as a woman. Knowing that he was a dominant source as a man, he was dominant. Now you're going to put him in to compete as a woman. That's discouraging for the young folks who want to really build, especially if they're transgenders or in the LGBTQ or whatever the case may be. It is discouraging because it's unfair. People are going to talk about it. You're going to talk about it. I am going to talk about it. So let's be real. You know. So today, Monday, we woke up and we saw that, you know, how this ruling came down with the transgender department, that it won't happen. The FINA spoke out today, and they spoke out loudly because the FINA voted that they supported of the new policy that will restrict most transgender athletes from what? Competing in elite women's aquatic competition. That's a fear well thought about, narrative that you could drop to the people. But at the same time, we're looking at the women's championship and also the transgender of Lisa Thompson. You know, she went to the University of Pennsylvania. She won the 500-yard freestyle at the NCAA division on March 2017, 2022 in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, so she or E is very talented in the swimming industry. I could see that. But at the same time, you can't compete against women and try to, if you win, that to me, that's bullyism. That's what you call bullyism. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you, my friends? Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. You know, so to me, that's bullyism. Because if a man gonna perform as a woman, that's bullyism. Because, for example, a man and a woman in the gym, the man is benching 300 pounds or 200 pounds, right? The woman could only bench like 80 pounds, you know, 80 pounds. Then how are you going to compete in weightlifting? How are you going to compete in weightlifting with that woman? That is so unfair because you know what? You already have the upper advantage because you could bench way, way more. And with her and her transition, or he and his transition, you know, coming to, nah. It's just too much. Too much rhetoric. Too much BS. So, in a way, folks, let me know how you feel about the, you know, the ban from the NINA as far as transgender swimming is concerned. When they are in, you know, getting up to the elite stage, swimming against women in these big competitions that could catapult their careers into different financial areas. So what do you think about that, folks? Are you agreeing with that fact that, you know, we should allow them to compete with these people? Or are you disagreeing with the fact that, hey, transgender have to start from a certain age for us to understand and believe you? And I tell you, this was a very smart analogy. Very smart analogy, you know, very smart analogy within the policy that we have, you know, because the policy that we have, it says transgenders need to be started at 12 years old. That's the policy that we have as people in America, okay? And then I'm going to get to the policy that the professionals have in the LGBT department, which is, you know, not too far, but it's okay. I understand that. But in our, you know, regular people life, we said 12 years old and able to, at 12 years old, you know, you start a transformation into a woman to compete in these type of restrictions, you know, and, you know, to make an impact in that, you know, we do understand that at 12 years old. Leah Thomas, this goes out to you. So the World Professional Association for Transgenders Health, they recommended for you to start transforming your health and your well-being and what you believe in at what age 14. Age 14. So the NC, not the NC, the FINA gave you 2 years in advance. 2 years in the banks. 2 years in the banks. Because what the World Professional Association for Transgender Health is saying, that they could start their hormone taking at what? Age 14. Okay? And then they said up to age 15 to 17, they could start having those type of surgery where you cut off your penis and put on, whatever, you like. You know what I mean? So that's what they're saying. But it's not too far off, so why should they be pissed off? I don't understand why. A year or so in between, you're gonna get mad about that? You should be mad about how you're. Anyway, yeah, you should be mad about different circumstances. But Leah Thomas, you're a swimmer. I wish you nothing but the best. But when you're competing against females, I don't know. I can't wish you the best in that, because that's unfair. Because I have a daughter, and I would be very hypocritical to have my daughter compete against you. My feelings, my emotions, I'll be very hypocritical. So let me be fair. I don't think that's the way to go. And that's why you see the vote came down as it came down today from the FINA, because they're being pressured by people that they're like, listen, this is not the way to go. They are being pressured. People are saying this is unfair. Like I said, folks, but earlier, it's like me weightlifting against a woman in the gym, a regular woman in the gym, and we're going to bench press and see who can lift the most. Obviously, as a man, stronger, I'm going to be able to lift the most. In certain, you do have women that can lift a lot of heavy weight. Not a lot of women, but the ones that practice. But I'm just saying, in general, you go into the gym, that's what you're going to see. A man always dominate when it comes on to what? The heavy lifting. So you can't differentiate. It's hard to. So when you do stuff like that, it's very messy. Very messy. Giving the sport a black eye. And I'm just going to go further back with Bruce Jenner. Bruce Jenner was also a track star. And a few years ago, he decided to have his sex change in his 60s. In his 60s, to each his own. At least, I saw where they try to rub it and then they let it go in people's eyes. But at least we don't see Bruce Jenner around today, flaunting and gallivanting. We don't see him today. But we're going to see all these competitions year in, year out, months in, months out, where transgenders trying to compete with different sex. And I think it's so unfair. Because within their mind, they know it's unfair. Because you know why? They know they could dominate that person, that female. So it's so unfair. So unreasonable to even think about and put it on paper and give it thought and put it into actions. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So that's why you see today that law was passed by the FINA, said no more. Because look at me as a man. I have bigger hands than a lot of women. Bigger hands. And if I'm a swimmer, you paddle. When you paddle with boats, your paddles keep you going faster. The more you paddle, right? My big hands and my big feet. I am going to paddle. I'm going to swim faster. Because you know why? I am gravitating and I'm pushing back more water than a woman. So of course I am going to be what? The elite in that division. Because I am doing all the attributes that I'm supposed to be doing as a man. So of course I am going to be the dinosaur. And folks, it's not fair. It's not fair. Not fair. So that's why you see the law passed down today. Because it's not fair. Don't forget, folks, transgender woman Leah Thomas, I say. She's at the University of Pennsylvania. And she won the 500-yard freestyle NCCA division on March 17th in Atlanta, Georgia. She had the upper hand. She had the upper hand. She dominated. She won. So, folks out there, let me ask you a question. If your daughter, or was high ups in her hopes and dreams in swimming, competing against Leah Thomas, how would you feel if you see a transsexual man competing against your daughter in a competition? How would you feel? Comment down below. Let me know. Also give the thumbs up on the chat, the likes on the chat. Let me know how you're understanding or feeling this algorithm. Let me know. So yes, so how would you feel if your daughter or even your son have to compete against somebody? Let's just say daughter for now because we're dealing with the perspective, How would you feel if your daughter run all year around just practicing, trying to, defeat all of her opponents, and then you find out she got to the end of the line, the next opponent is a male that just transferred to a female by just, your sexual organs. Maybe you put on some false hair and take some hormone pills and stuff like that. How would you feel? I have no problems with people in the LGBT department. Never have. Never will. Because you know what? People are people. And you have to learn to love each and every one. But at the same time, you don't put up with their rhetoric. You speak about it. So that's how you see change come along. If you say to a person, listen, I understand you and I respect you, but I don't put up with your rhetoric. And that's how change began. And that's how it begins. So with this, competition blocked by the FINA, going forward in the summer, what are we going to see? What are coming down in the summer? Moving forward into autumn. Because don't forget, sports started summer, autumn, soccer, baseball, football. Are they going to go through all these sports and ban these transgenders from all these elite competition? Or did they just single out one sport, the swimming? Did they single out one sport just to make an example? Or are they going to go down the line through all the sports dynamics and do what they think they're supposed to do? Folks, the world professional organization for transgenders health is not just a small institution. They do make noise. It's just that I see their blueprint as far as how to transform into their society. Hey, to each his own, man. Do what you must. I am a woman lover, so do what you must. At age 14, you can start taking hormone pills. I guess to grow different type of hormones, breasts. I don't know, whatever else it grows, who knows. And then at age 15 to 17, you could have the sex change. And that's when you can get your wee-wee cut off. But then they cut your wee-wee off and turn it into a vagina, which surgeons, some surgeons could do immaculate work, and also some surgeons could be a butcher. So you have to be careful of how you go about these type of transition as women. Be careful, because you were taken for a run for your money before you know it. So for the swimmer, Leah Thomas, I should say, with this ruling that came down, I think it dampers your career moving forward, because it kind of dampened you from participating in aquatic competitions, which is what you're good for, great for, but they denied you that chance right now. And I do understand why. You are the dominant. People say you have bigger hands, bigger feet. You could do much in the water that some people can't do. And I myself, as a father, if I have a daughter competing in that type of race, I would be offended. I'm just keeping it real. I would be offended knowing that I have a man that transformed into a woman beat my daughter in a woman's competition. Yeah, I would be a little irate. So I do understand the people out there that don't agree with this, because, pretty much I am with you. But still, I have to bring forth the content to you guys, let you know what's brewing, what's going on, how you feel about it, your thoughts, your inspirations, your aspirations. All that makes sense. Cash App, $ Raymond Nugent. Hit me up. You see that? Hit me up on the Cash App. Can't go wrong. You can't go wrong on the Cash App. Just hit me up. I bring you all the content you want me to bring you. But at the same time, I have to buy stuff for the machine to keep it going. Different phones, laptops, all these equipments cost. All of these cost. But I don't mind. I'm trying to bring forth, because folks, I live with chronic pain. I talk about it on my platform. But I want to move my platform, further, into different genres, because I can't talk about chronic pain every day. If you go back to a lot of my old videos, I do talk about chronic pain, what I've been through. I have a rebuilt spine, guys. I'm telling you, I've been through the haywire, and I'm here today just to testify and let you guys know that life goes on when it comes on to quality of life. Don't give up, just keep fighting. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. That's me. That's what I preach to these people. What I've been through and what I'm going through. But to see the new world and the way it evolves on a fast speed, I had to take on some of these content creators and also some of these celebrities who are doing dubious things that make you really want to talk about it, have a conversation about it, just to have a understanding of what the hell they did. Yeah. So yes, folks, getting back to the transgender, the World Professional Association for Transgenders Health recommended gender transformation to start at age 14 with hormonal transformation as well. And then when they get to age 15 to 17, that's when they do the sex change. But if you follow the guidelines of the division in sports, I think I said it before to you guys, and I'm going to find it again and reiterate. You have to start at age 12. Age 12. Age 12, that's when you have to start your transformation. If you want to have a gender change, sex change, and this is what they're recommending, okay? This is what they are recommending, FINA. If you want to participate in all these elite women's sports, you have to start at age 12. That's what they're recommending. Age 12. To be able to compete in all these women's sports and competition. It's a requirement, you know? And with that requirement, I think it makes a big impact on Leah Thomas' future as far as her career is concerned. Yeah. So let's talk about it. You're probably beyond that age. So how far can you go? But hey, I didn't make up these rules. I didn't make these rules. The FINA made their rules, and they're going by it. They're going by it. We saw an amazing 2022 with Leah Thomas, in the University of Pennsylvania, where she won the freestyle in March. People were like, in the up and ups and trying to think about what they think in this regards as far as transgenders participating in women's sports. People are still thinking about it, up in the air about it. See if it's fair. Yeah. But the swimming world government body, the FINA, they has voted in support of all new policies that will ban, restrict most transgender athletes from competing in elite sports and aquatic competition. So to me, they covered it all for transgenders. Make sure to do your research before you want to compete in some of these sports. Genders. Because now you see where there's a wall that's been built. Just like the wall that's been built in every other community, nationality, nation. So now the policy that you see is a wall that's being built. Because you know why? People are watching tapes. People are doing their research. They know, for example, if I, chronic pain inner demon, transform into a male, taking some hormones and cut off my wee-wee and all that type of stuff, physically, I am still who I am, So I'm going to move that way. I am going to move that way. But I wonder this, folks, if, hypothetically speaking, if there's a call that comes to Leah Thomas's house for domestic violence, who the cops going to arrest? Who the cops going to blame? Who is the man? That's the confusion for police officers. So we're confusing a lot of people around this world, even though people are trying to adapt to certain principles. As far as understanding is concerned, that's what I mean by adapt, understand, and also relate to it. But sometimes it will become confusing because, folks, I was trying to accept and deal with certain letters in the alphabet, but then they push it further to Q, and I'm not even there yet. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I am still dissecting alphabetic letters, try to understand, some of them, but now it's been pushed further, and I'm still trying to tolerate and understand it. To each his own. To each his own. You do what you want to do in your bedroom. That's on your time, that's on you. So yes, folks, for the fathers out there, how was your Father's Day? I hope you, for the real fathers, you had a blast. Blast of support, blast of family and friends around you, blast of enjoying yourself, and also a blast of being a real father. So congratulations to the real fathers. A day well appreciated because I appreciated it. Because I am a real father and my kids treat me like a real father. So yes, I appreciated my day. I appreciated it. Very much so. So in this regards, folks, I'm gonna end this live. But may peace be upon you guys. And I really thank you for supporting my chat. I thank you for coming through. I thank you for even considering me. Once again, may peace be upon you. Before I leave, I always say, who feels it, knows it. Peace.